And thank you for joining the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence Young. I am your host for the podcast today. This is a podcast that is dedicated to helping people get past their excuses. Helping people say, you know what, I'm not going to wait for the right time because the right time never comes. The time is always now. Helping people harness the power in the eternal moment of now. That is so important. So this podcast is dedicated to encouraging, inspiring, and motivating people to move forward, to make changes in their lives for the better, and doing it right now. That's what it's all about. Of course, if you want to donate to the cause, always you can go to my website. It's terenceyoungnow.com, and you can donate there to help me to continue to give these messages. I want to push them out to the masses. Everyone needs to hear the messages that I'm saying here, and it's just going to improve and help raise the consciousness of humanity. It's my life's mission. It's what I do. So I appreciate you for helping me in that endeavor. I'm excited about today. First of all, I had a great weekend so far. It's Memorial Day weekend. I will say that we want to always remember why we are celebrating. I know we're happy to, first of all, be able to go out and do anything because some of the countries starting to open back up. Here in Florida we are, at least I should say. And just remember why we have Monday off from work and why we're home and why we're able to go to the beach or have that barbecue. It's about the people who gave their lives, the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to do the very things that we're doing. So it's important to remember what Memorial Day is all about, and thank God that we have our military servicemen and women that continue to support us and the ones that we remember for giving that ultimate sacrifice. Yes. So I had a great weekend so far. First thing, finally got a haircut. It's been 3 months, but I'm so happy. Got a haircut yesterday and got to reminisce with a friend of mine from high school, which is really cool. God used to cut my hair 20 years ago, and we played high school basketball together. So we had a blast as he was cutting my hair yesterday, and just reminiscing, talking basketball, talking life and everything else. Really cool. And I'm sure some of you will have those same types of experiences as well as we open the country back up and get an opportunity to get our hair done, our nails done, or whatever you're doing. So it's exciting about that. Also, I want to share with you something. I went to this cookie place yesterday. I just got to say, man, this place is called Cookie Munchers. Now, if you know me, you know that I love sweets. I'm a sweet person, like brownies, like chocolate, all that. And this place, wow, they're so good in Tampa. It's called Cookie Munchers. If you're in Tampa, and I think there's one other location, I'm not sure where it is, but you need to go there and get you a cookie right now. Matter of fact, at the barber shop, we were talking about that. That's why I went. So it was really good. So Cookie Munchers in Tampa, go there. It's awesome. You'll enjoy it. So this morning, getting to my topic for today, this morning I did a Zoom talk for a church that I speak with called Unity in Brandon. And we did the talk this morning at 10:30, and I was sharing some ideas that I'm going to share here, and I'm going to kind of expound on what I was talking about a little bit there. And it's that the general consensus was it's all good because it's all God. That is what I'm going to be talking about today. And we'll say it again. It's all good because it's all God. Everything, right? So in Unity, we say that God is omnipresence. If you don't know what that word means, omnipresence means God is in all places, all things, at all times. Yeah. And I think that for most people, we believe that. We believe that God is in all places, right? God's everywhere, right? There's no place that God is not, right? God is in all at all times, right? God's, no matter what time it is, God's there. Yeah, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it doesn't matter. God's there. When we say all things, though, get a little tricky, right? God, it's easy to say that God's in the good times, right? God's in all the things. When we say things, God's in people, God's in us, God's in our pets, God's in the beautiful trees and the flowers. All the things, those things are great. But what about when a pandemic hits? Is God in that? What about when a hurricane hits? or an earthquake and people lose their lives. Is God in that? But we just said omnipresence, right? In all places, all things, and all times. All things. Let me ask you something. What does that leave out? Nothing. Doesn't leave anything out. All things. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. A couple of ideas. I'll share what I feel about it, and I'd love to hear what you feel about it as well. Omnipresence, all things, all places, all times. It's all good because it's all God. Here's the thing about it. 4 things I'm going to share with you today. God's in our come up. God's in our peak. God is in our valleys. And God is in our comeback. Yeah. God's in all of it. God is in our come up when we're rising and striving to be what we want to be. God's in that. God's in our peak when we reach our highest level, right, of our profession, whatever it is. God's in that. God's in the valley when we reach the lowest of the lows and we're struggling and striving. God's in that. And God's in our comeback. When we reinvent ourselves and come back as something else, God's in that too. In all of it. Yeah. So I'm gonna share some ideas on that. So God's in our come up. Right? For me, I'll share this with you. As a young basketball player, right? I was growing up playing around town in Tampa, and then went to Brandon High School, and I got pretty good at playing basketball, right? But see, here's the thing: when you're in your come up, most people don't think about God. People only think about God in one of those 4 scenarios, right? God's in your come up, God's in your peak, God's in your valley, and God's in your come back. But we only think about God in one of them, and I'll share what that is. When you're in your come up, most people don't think about God. I'm not going to say all, because some people have that spirituality in them, that religion in them, and they're always thinking about God. They're always thinking about how the universe is helping them. But some people are thinking, I'm doing this on my own. So when people in their come up, they're not thinking about God. As a basketball player, I was thinking, I'm doing all the work. I'm doing it. I'm at Brandon High School. I got pretty good. I could shoot the ball pretty well. Went on to ACC, got pretty good. Went to Mercer, right? So I did really well. I wasn't thinking about God being in that come up. Wasn't thinking about that. But God's in it. What is it for you? What is it for you when you are building your business, your come up? Are you thinking about God's in that process with you? Are you working proactively with God? Consciously, obviously. Consciously working with God, recognizing God's presence in everything that you do? Or you think you're doing it all on your own? God's in your come up. Whatever it is for you, whatever you're working towards, don't forget the fact that the presence of God, the presence of the universe is backing you. It's putting circumstances in your realm so you can achieve what you want to achieve. The universe is working with you at all times. God's in your come up. Recognize it. Yeah? And as you made that come up, see, as we get to the next level, God's in our peak. Right? When you reach the highest of the profession, we got Michael Jordan and his the series that's just going on now. Everybody's heard about it, been talking about it. So he reached the highest level of his profession. Yeah? So he's at the highest level. Right? Where people say you're the Michael Jordan of whatever, golf, business, whatever. He was at the highest level. God was in that too. Right? God was in his come up, God was in his peak. But here's the thing, most people don't think about God. Not when they're in their peak. They think they did it all on their own. I'm not going to say everybody. I'm going to say most people. They're thinking, I did this on my own. I got here on my own. Yeah. But God's in your peak. Where are you in your business? Where are you in your relationships? Where are you in your finances? Are you at the peak of where you want to be? Are you working proactively, consciously with God to get you there? To get you to that peak? Are you recognizing that God got you there? Or are you feeling like you did it all on your own? Yeah. God's in it. All places, all things, all times, God's in it. So God's in your come up. When you're striving to get there, God's there. God's in your peak. When you have strived and you've got to the pinnacle of where you can get in your profession, in your endeavor, whatever it is, God's in there. God's in that. What's the next one? God is in your valley. When you get to that top and you start to make that fall back down, and we all do, it doesn't matter who you are. Yes, Michael Jordan came back down too. He started playing for the Washington Wizards, and then he got to the point where he didn't play anymore, right? It all happens to everybody. That's just sports, but it happens in business and whatever it is. God's in your valley. Now remember I said that people don't think about God when they're in their come up. People don't think about God when they're in their peak. But oh boy, when you get to your valley, people start thinking about God then. Yeah. Now they're praising God now. They're praising and they're asking for help now. When you're in your valley. And yes, God didn't leave you because God never goes anywhere. God's inside of you. God's there. When you praising and you asking and you're hoping and wishing and everything else, God's been there the whole time. God's in your valley when you're struggling. When things are tough. When a pandemic hits and shuts down your company and you lose your job. God's in it. God's in it all. That's the troubling thing about it. People say, well, is God here now? Yes. God's always been here. But it's tough to think about, right? It's tough because people are losing their lives and their jobs and their livelihood. Both things are very, very tough. But God's in it all. Maybe it's that time, and this is time where you maybe can shift that perspective a little bit and say, well, if God's in it, how's God in it? I always say it's all good because it's all God. So when you're looking for the good in something, that's the same as saying you're looking for the God in something. And if you seek, you shall find. So look at what we're going through right now and say, well, what good is coming from this? That's where you find God. Ask yourself, what good is coming from this? Well, there's a lot of good coming from this. I was sharing with people earlier. I've learned so much about technology in the last 2 or 3 months. Oh my God. I think a lot of you have too. All kinds of things on Zoom and Microsoft Teams and all kinds of stuff. I spent more time with my family and friends and talking to my mom and my kids. So it's just, and more families are doing things together. You're spending more time with your pets. I mean, all of these things are really, you're actually talking to people, right? If it's on the phone or on a video chat or on Zoom or Skype or whatever, you're talking to people more in your family. There's good that's coming out of this, the humanity that's coming together to work together, to help heal people, to take care of people. God's all over it. God's in your valley. What is it for you? If you're in that valley right now, you're in that valley where things are feeling down and you don't know where the next meal is coming from, the next money is coming from, or whatever the case may be, God's in that with you. Because God never went anywhere. All places, all things, all times. God's within you, all times, even in the valley. The last one is this. God's in your comeback. Yeah, God's in your comeback. See, when you're in your valley, then you remember God. As soon as people start making their comeback, they start forgetting about God a little bit. But you remember, you're 50-50 now. You're in there, you kind of remember. Some of you don't. But God's in that comeback too. Of course, God's in the comeback. To let you get back to where you wanted to be. And not only will God replace what you lost, but put you in a place that's better. God will put people in place for you to help you reach your highest potential, to help you reach that next goal for you. You won't even know where they came from. They'll just show up. Yeah. God's in your comeback as well. What is it for you? Are you in that? What stage are you in right now? Are you in your come up? Are you at your peak? Are you in your valley? Or are you in your comeback? Which one is it? I can tell you this, no matter where it is, God's there with you. Trust and believe in that. God is always with you. Omnipresence in all places, all things, at all times. Shift your perspective on how you see things, and it will change everything for you. Remember that God is always with you. The universe is always working in your favor. This is why I say this. It's so important. I say it's so good. It's all good because it's all God. And I mean that. Every single ounce of it. Every bit of it. The good, the bad, the ugly, it's all God. And it's all working in our favor. This is key. But how is it working in my favor when it made me lose my job or whatever? Look for the good. Remember this. If you look for the good, It's the same as saying you're looking for the God. And when you seek, you shall find. Where are you today? Are you in your come up? Good. Remember God. Are you at your peak? Good. Remember God. Are you in your valley? Good. Remember God. Are you in your comeback? Good. Remember God. No matter where you are, God's there with you. If you remember that, if you remember that at all times, it will change your life. So I appreciate you being with me today. Remember those steps. Remember that it's all good because it's all God. If you do that, it will change your life, and you will be able to unequivocally say, I own the now and I have won. My name is T.Y. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you today. Remember the time. It's always now. Allow the universe to work in your favor and be blessed.